How you? You will lay a desire. Then I'd wear your power. Via Yatija, this again. I say, oh, me, I'm right. And by doing you, I'm of my trade of my trade, dear, well, on it goes away. Alas, I will that you are not, we say you. Papa Mora, get me up when anywhere, Momba Sivole. Sivole. L'arrangeur parmi national, très trop fort. We are glad that we want by say so where that you are. I want Saibo. There be you. Do a web play you about Babomonia. Papa Yengita, petit, blazo façonné. Kaidaka. Bena paya posa gogo, mambo panjago. Apo blo akafwe. Wapo za nyoka fwe. Be afonte mwa bandi yopa kle yukiye. Nyonjo si mwe. Bosko kata tuyo kwe atinyo diyo mwa. Emo o. Nese tokan. Kwesti izwa pokoke. Wede yeble. Koworia nakanda salute. Bosko kata tuyo kwe atinyo diyo mwa. Emo o. Nese tokan. Na kwesti izwa pokoke. Wede yeble. Koworia kanike. Na konkete nyambe wewe. Na nyonsa feble ane. Yayo, wale yayo, let's do what you just grab it to work on. Say your book on ya. Are you an owl? Say Bobo that you know, and we say you over. I want to you club I need a boy. And yes, I'm going to buy them with Mwege. Hey, Imo. Gay, one of what I just me and the boy. Oh, Say, Bobo, that you know, and we say you. So, like it, I'm going to never boy. Netoni and Layo. Hey, are you? A book like just a word, yeah, I'm a walking ever. Kaidaka. When it was to work, I go to let you know halfway. I just know. This is what I say. Saibo, yeah. You like do I name one by one name on tell it by Botamu, Tanyada. Planning Papa, Pinagasia, Bacao Lage, the Pussy, the PSC, baby. Don't yes, you don't know one. There was a ball was a dressy, Mango, Balibo, that you know, and I will say you over. I will. Saibo. In back to a black guy, do it so say. I just want to lay a bat to an apple, you see you okay. Wait, you, Saibo. On the Krianya walk like a bad day noir. Eh, chose was so the one you're naturally stand claim the soule. Say, Bobo, that you know, and I will say you over. I'm done it. Where are you? Two of away. I know Roswell, K-Bay Roswell. South Africa, your fault, your way. Thank you for your work and my one. I'm the Pope and Yaguba. Don't feel it, I say, oh, Clavodio. Say, back in where we are coming. Say, Bobo, that you know, and I will say you over. Our papers were in this room. Vamos a tomar ya toda cinco balas. Vamos a hacer. Que por ser tu gusto bloque. Say ya me hace. Vaya no. Que el monde ye. Yo pample yo te monde ya now. Arrivo hace o vaya. Amo amorada o. Say bo de ya no anda we say you. I wish a rulo dio vaya. So pe no Saibo, 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 that young man now will take you there. Mop man down le Mary, read and your man does the roof. But you know I say, is a mayo. That was the Yasu also wombo. When you I'm original, I say, Saibo, Saibo, that young man now will take you.
Good evening, folks. Samson told Public Radio. The Libra is here again this evening, ready to rock it with you. We say thank you very much for joining us tonight. We will have some wonderful conversation here with you tonight. Uh, I am having some issue here. Just give me a few minutes. So just bear with me here as I try to clean up some little stuff here, some loose end. We're trying to get it together here. So just give me a few minutes here. Give me a few minutes. We will be right here. Thank you for your patience. We appreciate it. Thank you very much, and good night, and good evening, and good morning to all of you that are listening. We thank you very much for tuning in again. We have been on the weather for quite some time, but thank God, God is always there. God is there to guide us. Fred, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it, and we just want to thank God for this wonderful day tonight. This wonderful Monday afternoon, still giving us strength, be able to get us 6 o'clock still to go to work, and happy to be to work and ready to do our work. We teach people how things that I'm not tired to the point of say, oh, they need to know it by now. You don't know it, you come to total man, he will show you. And I'm very glad to continue to do those kinds of stuff, and where the young engineers will be referencing us to say what how this done, how is that done. Something I want to speak some heavy crown to them, because I'm from Total. But then I thought to myself, if I do that, I will not get paid. I want to get paid. Samson. So, folks, again, we want to thank you very much for joining us tonight. It's going to be a wonderful show. Again, we say thank you. Safety. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening for this wonderful day that you have given us. You give us this day, that's why we're here. Thank you. Thank you. And we ask for many more days, Lord. Guide us, protect us, whatever it is. Please take complete control. My Lord, we offer specific prayer tonight for our brother, Mr. George. We ask that you be in his life as well. We ask that our sister, my Esther, be in his life. And we're offering this special prayer for these two people tonight because they are members of Liberia Public Radio family. And my Lord, please step in, guide, and protect. You have control. You're in control. We trust you. We believe in you. And therefore, we ask you in this public manner. You have not failed anyone who come before you in sincerity as I am here right now. I know my prayer will not go unanswered. Your time is the best. We will wait for your time. But I know you never fail anybody who believes in you. And I believe in you. My Lord, as we come before you again tonight, we ask that the Republic of Liberia be blessed. And for all of those that are continuing to pray for the Republic of Liberia, I want to thank you specifically. But my Lord, we ask that the people of Republic of Liberia be blessed. Because without you, who knows what would have happened by now? My Lord, the dream that people are having, the dream that's going through people's minds, specifically my mind, please, we put that country in your hands. I ask you, my Lord, let it just be dream. And we put that country in your mind. And we know you will guide our country. We know you will guide all of us. And as we come again tonight, we pray for the President of the Republic of Liberia, President Waka. Guide his hand, guide his thought, guide whatever it is that he's doing in the interest of the Liberian people. Whatever he touches in the interest of the Liberian people, that his hands be blessed. Whichever door he knock in the interest of the Liberian people, that yes, indeed, you are so mighty, so powerful, that that door will be open through you and in the interest of the Liberian people. My Lord, we ask that President Barker be given long life to do what he have to do for our country. We ask that the host country, the United States of America, be blessed as well. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Folks, that's how we open our show. Now it is time for Tabata. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Thank you for joining us. Like I said, I've been on the weather. And not yet, any other people there, you know who they all kind of, all kind of taba. The Libra is here. The Libra is here. The Libra is here. And I want to thank all of you that are tuning in. Those of you that want to be coming later, thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Before I will start, this is my starting, from this point on, this is how I'm going to start my show. It's very important. It's very important for us to recognize who we are as Liberians. Why? Think about it. God didn't just make you to be transported to Liberia. There's a reason. There's a reason. And if you don't recognize your reason of being a Liberian, then you are not truthful. You have to recognize why you were put down there. You were put in Liberia to do what? Think about it. Think about it. We all strive to be sincere. We all strive to be the most outright person in our family, among our friends. Whatever we do, we want to be respected. And there's an old saying, respect go both ways. If you respect people, they respect you back. No two people get in a fight and one person go clean. Uh-uh. Even if you be the man or be the woman or they be you, all of y'all will be dirty. However, the character of you, your character is what represents your family. It's what represents you as a human being among the living. Your character, how you present yourself, what you do when nobody is looking, that's what means good character. When you do the right thing when nobody is looking, that's what means you are the right person. But you look around, hey, if you're not here, man, let me do the here. Between you and your God. So we all can claim, oh, I'm a good person. I can do X, Y, and Z. I am so good that you have to trust me to do X, Y, and Z for you. When people are looking, the people call it I7. Every one of us can be I7 when people are watching. I'm so good. But when nobody is watching, that's when we know that indeed you are a character. Dr. Mali, we will come to you. Let me finish my tabata here, then I will bring you on, my brother. Please bear with me. And so tonight, we will say to you that those of us that were born in Liberia, God didn't put you in Liberia by mistake. Find your purpose. As long as you are alive, find your purpose. Why Liberia? Why were you not born in Europe? Why were you not born here in the United States? Why were you not born in any other country? In fact, why were you not born in other country other than your country you were born in? Why? Have you asked that question? Because if you start investigating, if you start talking about those characters that make you to be who you are and why you were born, where you were born, those of us that are born in the countryside, why? You were born not in a hospital, but yet still God gave you life. Just as those who were born in a hospital, God gave you life. Just like those who were born in Europe, God gave you life. Just like those who were born in America. You have a purpose. You have a purpose. But you must allow the purpose to come through you, through your character. Because without that, you are nothing. And let me play this here, and then we'll bring in Dr. Miley.
Help welcome our honored, distinguished guest, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King.
Thank you very kindly. Because I have other engagements, I don't have a tradition of being brief all the time. You know, I'm a Baptist preacher, and we can talk a long time. But I'm going to really be brief today. I want to ask you a question, and that is, what is in your life's blueprint? This is the most important and crucial period of your lives, for what you do now and what you decide now at this age may well determine which way your life shall go. And whenever a building is constructed, you usually have an architect who draws a blueprint. And that blueprint serves as the pattern, as the guide, as the model for those who are to build the building. And a building is not well erected without a good, sound, and solid blueprint. Now, each of you is in the process of building the structure of your lives. And the question is whether you have a proper, a solid, and a sound blueprint. Well, life for none of us has been a crystal stair, but we must keep moving. We must keep going. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl, but by all means, keep moving.
Yeah, folks, those of you that are in the back, just bear with me here. Let me put my tabata together here. And as I was saying earlier, folks, it's very important that you find your purpose in life. You can go to school, educate yourself. The educational process itself, from my perspective, is to help to form the character that is within you already. The character is already there when you were born. Whatever you do after that, how the character developed, is based on you. You already have the blueprint. But you must carry out that blueprint to your own specification. No one, not your mom, not your dad, can specify what character you have. They can only help you to form the kinds of character that God has already helped you in you. And we'll go through that. Let me bring in Moses. Dr. Mali, if you can hear me, and if you're looking, and if you're watching, please join me here. Mose, good evening. Thank you for joining us here tonight. I have a specific message for a whole 2 hour. We will stick with that message here tonight, and I hope you guys will bear with me because it's very important that these things are being brought instead of us jumping here because we talk about this and we leave. Next day we come back, nothing's done. So I think those of us, and then most of you are included, with most experience. Let's see why are we having these problems? Because from the time we started talking, every day is one thing to another, and nothing is being changed. Let's hear from you. Say good evening to all of us here. Mostly, let's hear from you quickly, and then we can go on to the issue that I have tonight.
Well, good evening. It's nice to see you.
Thank you.
The last time I heard your voice, you were under the weather,
Right,
and
right.
so it's nice to see that you're doing much better. Praise
Thank
God,
God.
and that we can continue our conversation.
Thank
But
you.
I think when I came out and listened to you about your character and that niche that is within you that you're born with, can only be, um, you know, amplified when you put yourself in a position after learning. But it comes and it's an inner thing for each and every person, and that character ability is there to know who you are. And I think it's a beautiful topic to talk about, especially when it comes to individuals. And like you said, like I said, your first impression about somebody is the lasting impression about that person. So absolutely, I think it's going to be a very good topic to propound on today, and it defines each and every one of us for who we are, and that your upbringing and your experiences only help to supplement what's inside of you, what is created, what you were created for, and you have to find that. So I thank you for that. Very amazing. There were things that I wrote down here to talk about, I keep that, for another time. So thanks, and thanks to everyone for listening, for coming back, following the Liberian Public Radio.
Thank you, Moses. I'm going to the reason why I'm trying to initiate the conversation from this perspective have to do with the purchasing of the yellow machine, to be specific. That will be the specific topic, but we will get around that specific topic by discussing us as human beings, by bringing us into the picture. And I want us to approach that from that perspective, and then we will end it up with this yellow machine. Why we went from 70 somewhat, why we have a difference, the difference of $57 million by Liberians, and we will discuss that. This is getting to be no, I'm not going to say annoying. I'm not going to say angry, but it's getting to be a way of exposing us as Liberian. So let me start by saying this, Moses. As I was saying earlier, God did not put you to Liberia for no reason. God made you to go to Liberia for a reason, to be born in Liberia for a reason. And not only that, God made you to be born in the area you were born for a reason. There were some of us who were born in the village of the village, on a farm, no hospital. But we were given the same life, as I stated, as those who were born the same time, but in the Western world, in the civilized world, but we're all breathing the same air. And I can assure you that many of us that were born in those areas where there was no hospital, we can claim that our character is much better than some of those that were born in the hospital. Because God, every one of us, I believe, and I'm here to preach, please, I'm not preaching, I'm just talking a little bit about myself. Every one of us, I believe, were born with those character traits in you already. Whatever you do with a mom and dad trying to mold your character, to try to expose your character to come out, hopefully they're hoping to guide you. But when you get to certain age, you are completely in control of that character. And for us as Liberians, we have yet to truly experience a whole character as a decent person, as a decent human being, specifically those that are put in position of trust. If we are not in position of trust, like Samson told, is opening his mouth now, I claim to be holier than thou. But once I'm put in a position of trust, my true character will come out. As Michelle Obama once stated, running for political office, I'm just paraphrasing now, help to expose who you are. Because when you start engaging other folks, you will be able to be exposed to a lot of stuff. And I'm saying this here to say tonight, one of the good things perhaps this Civil War had done for us within the last, say, 15, 16 years, is to allow Liberians to understand the operational part of their government. Is to allow Liberians to have little insight of how the government that they call government operates. And as a result, the people who are supposed to be in charge are now being exposed from time to time to time. It's not because they are unable to guide themselves, but Liberians are now becoming more sophisticated. And I will give you the example, Moses, then you can take it up. So let me read something. I want all of you to go to the front page Africa. And the title, Liberia, government reject Chinese offer. Reportedly seeking Echo Bank financing for $22 million yellow machine. The government of Liberia is reportedly negotiating with Echo Bank to pre-finance the $22 million acquisition of 285 machine. I want you to underline that 285 yellow machine. The number has not changed. It's essentially for the country's infrastructure development, which I have huge interest in. This deal, which was renegotiated after an initial agreement had ballooned to $43 million, makes a significant step toward fiscal responsibility and public accountability. The government decision to renegotiate the procurement deal came after widespread public cry over the original $79 million agreement, which critics had demanded excessive inflation. Now let's go back into this. Those of you that are listening, I'll turn it to Moses here. When the yellow machine business started here, we all were here, especially the people like me, as an engineer, roadway engineer, somebody who built infrastructure here in this country. And I was so happy. And I was dancing on this show. How did it start? According to the story, they decided they were having a retreat, and few people decided to show the video with President Waka pictures being placarded on those yellow machines. And according to the 285, it hasn't changed. But they were telling the government that it was going to cost $79 million. Now, there were few people that was involved. Few Liberians were involved. And people started questioning. People started questioning. Liberians, they started believing that this is my hat. It looks so good, but it might not be true. And they started going through that. The yellow machine business, for some reason, we let it go. Character will allow you, if you are unable to control your character, you will steal from your own mom. If you are unable to control your character, you will steal from your own wife. These people said the certain amount of money was for this yellow machine. Today, we're reading that they are negotiating with Echo Bank to pre-finance the deal for $22 million. The difference of what? $57 million? What happened? What happened? Mostly, let's hear from you.
Well, I can tell you, I was equally excited when we heard about the yellow machine going to Liberia. And it so happened that I was in Liberia right around the same time last March and April when this whole thing came about. And we were all excited about it. And we thought that it was a new approach to really giving domestic care. And we're talking about road work, and that, these yellow machine was going to be distributed to each county as a start to start the development in those counties. And everyone is excited about it. And, in as much as I don't support most of what Kolbayeke says, I think he was one of the few people who questioned how was these machine being paid for.
Let me bring in Dr. Mali. Mose, you will continue. Good evening, Dr. Mali. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead, Mose.
Yeah, how these machines were being paid for. And it became an outcry, and he led the movement on it. Kolbayeke, or Yeke Kolba, representative. And then people started to raise some eyebrows. And it became quiet for a while. But, as you discuss this topic today, and when we talk about the discrepancy of fundings availability for these yellow machines, when it comes to fruition, that there's been a lot of talk lately. And what I was going to talk about in Liberia today, there are a lot of issues being addressed about corruption in Liberia and how prevalent corruption is in Liberia. And it's not a thing that just surfacing today. It's been in existence for decades and decades and decades. But at the level where it's at today, it's just totally out of control. And I think that it's a wonderful topic that we can talk about and share some of these facts and data about what's going on. And I kind of read something today, I think, by Martin Cuddy, who put something on Facebook about the former Vice President Joa Howard conversation on Spoon Radio, on Spoon TV, about not receiving any benefits. And he gave us the breakdown of some of the things that happened, what she was entitled to by law, and what she spent from 2018 to 2023. Now, I think that the access recovery, we were all excited in the beginning that the access recovery was going to help in addressing some of these issues of people who were peddling and really seeking their own interests. I think that was going to be the first action. But again, that never went farther. So I think the yellow machine now is becoming more of a topic. I think it's exposing a lot of other people. And so we want to know. And for us as character, and we supported the Excellency, His Excellency Joseph Boyka, because he said, think Liberia, love Liberia, and rebuild. And some of us supported him based on the credo he created. Okay, because we go way back to Torba time, when Torba came in, rally time, total involvement, higher heights, and all of that. And we know that he meant it. So we suspected that Boyka meant what he was saying. Now, how did he build that vision within the characters that are around him? And you spoke precisely to that. And people character talks about your behavior as you grow up, your culture, and all those things. It kind of build that character. But you already have something within you, and the way you live, like you said earlier, people that live in the interior, that was born in the interior, are now exhibit more character and love for the country than people who were born in the city.
Thank you. Let me bring in
So
Terry here as well. Thank you. Thank you,
I'll
Doc.
stop
Doc,
this.
Doc, thank you for joining us. Terry, Rescue 2, thank you for joining me tonight. We appreciate it. Doc, thank you for joining and thank you for your patience as well, because you were on earlier when I was still doing my running around Tabata. But thank you. Let's hear from you.
Well, are you getting me?
Yes, of course.
Yes, it's not a question of apologizing. I think we need to standardize how we're handling the platform now. Because a panelist cannot appear on the platform and you throw him away on veranda, you stay on your tabata, then what you need to do now going forward, my suggestion would be you come up with a tentative listing and timeline when panelists should appear. Because
I,
when panelists
I,
put aside all their basic schedule and appear yet, that must be considered very significant and important.
I
So
was
Point
in
that
well, point,
way,
point well taken. We will take that under consideration. Let's hear from you.
yeah, I don't have to take this to the CEO. Probably we can sort it off here and move on.
Dr. Mali, the liberal say point honor control. I mean point well taken.
well,
Let's hear from you.
I was in the
I don't want to. I don't want Babu to devise a code. That's so early. Please talk to me.
Yes, you see, the corruption thing, Mr. Singbe, is the security analyst is bringing here. It's a very good thing, but it seems to be corruption have become a way of life now, as I see it to be.
Let me
Yeah.
hold you right there. Let me hold you right there, Doc, and I'll push you guys around for some time here.
Okay.
When you are a highly educated person, we are talking. Talk to me. In fact, let me do this here. When you say it's a way of life,
Mhm.
how does that square with a character? What kinds of character would make a corrupt behavior a way of life? Let's hear
Okay.
from you on that, please.
When something continue and there's no deterrent, no
Yeah,
action is sticking,
yeah, come. But who brought in man in?
and
Dr.
when some
Mari, go ahead and make your point.
Dr. Mare, good evening.
oh
Mr. So,
how are you
Mr.
CEO?
So, Mr.
Oh,
So,
look,
don't your
this
American
is
spot.
this
I
is
come and kick
very
all of y'all out. I
interesting.
come and kick y'all out. Don't your man, that's why I'm gonna
This
show you
is
tonight.
very interesting. You know, Moses, Dr.
Who
Mare,
call
let
you?
me just
Who,
use a second of your
Mr.
time.
So, Mr.
I'm
So.
coming, liberal. Look, I'm about to give you the praise that due you, the
No,
hard
I
work
don't want to
you are
hear no
doing.
praise. I don't want to hear no praise.
So, Dr. Mare, did he hear this guy saying that he was going to restrict and enforce us what to say, his talking point? And you have Moses is comfortable with it.
I tell you.
This
wait,
is
wait, wait, wait.
unbelievable, flowing
Mr.
with this
Mr.
guy.
Mr. Saw.
By the way, it's good to be here. We represent the interests of the Liberian people in an honest and
In fact,
authentic.
CEO,
The liberal is, I don't know why
I,
he was speaking to this guy.
CEO, I yield the rest of my time to you. Continue.
No, carrier. I just wanted to, and I like your expression. He wants to impose his self-style. These are some of the problems we are talking about. A yellow machine. He is another green machine that we have on this network, and we need to call it out. Go ahead. We here. The thing we're going to go away. Please. You more the yellow machine you want to talk about. Please.
Yeah,
Dr. Martin, let's hear from you.
Yeah, as you are saying, liberal, I'm seeing corruption has become a way of life in Liberia for two reasons. One, I don't understand why when people are corrupt in our country to the point of the court level, people are just set free.
The highest level.
Yes, people are just set free like a normal, I come in now.
Dr. Male, I
Your
want you to tie it around the theme of tonight. Character. Our character as Nigerian. I want you to tie that corrupt behavior, which we all frown on, which is not a good thing. How does that influence our character? Or our character is so bad that it influences the behavior of corruption in the country. I want you to talk to me on that, please.
Very good. The family is the smallest unit in society.
Correct.
There we go. No, that's what I want to hear.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming there now. The family is the smallest unit in society. Everything that is reflected in society today has a root.
Let me welcome our brother here, Seku Kone. Good evening. I am not a real. Don't worry about it. I am not Seku. I am not a real green machine. I am just a machine.
Stop. Don't. Seku not looking for friends. Seku got people to make friends with.
Okay.
Let not interrupt the man.
Go ahead.
No, security analysts, we are already adapted to these things. We know, no problem. So as I was saying, the family is the smallest unit in society.
Absolutely.
And what is being reflected right now in society is the same thing that's happening in most of the homes. But then to answer your question, and the second part here is politicians who we have been looking up to for all these years to come and rescue corruption have become the victim of corruption. For instance, Helen Johnson's Salif. The son broke down Local. How much $1 million? About 50. And what did she say? I will pay. I take responsibility. All right. So if I see those two things and try to mitigate and bring in corruption into perspective, the question now is, do we have character to defend? Is this simply on our character? In the first place, is it something that really playing on our character in the first place? I don't think so.
Thank you. Let me go to Terry. Terry,
Oh,
I think.
So you cutting me off? Okay.
No, we'll come back to you. Doc. We'll come back to you.
No, that's fine.
Terry, thank you. Terry, let me come to you very quickly. And I think I know you are rescue number 2, but I think you being
wait a minute now. One correction. When Bacon is here, you call him rescue number 2.
No,
when Bacon is not here and Terry comes, you call him
Bacon
number
is
2.
your co-host. Terry is rescue number 2. Dr. Male, please don't try to muddy the water. Terry, let me come to you very quickly on a very serious note. I think these type of conversation, we can try to pull it to your doorstep, in that you are in a correct position to mold some of us, our character, through the word of God, through making us to know, to understand right from wrong. You are in that position. So I ask you this question, Terry. Our character as Liberian, the same question to Dr. Male. Are we allowing our character to continue to bring in the corrupt behaviors in us, or the corrupt behaviors in us is in control of our character? Please talk to me.
The way you went all the way to the bishop tattoo and come back again, put it in gear. But this is it from my own opinion, and I believe everybody is saying almost the same thing. Everybody here have contribution to make to that issue because they are all experienced people. Everybody got wives, they got children. The way you take care of your family tells you who you are. That's why every responsible man, like what Dr. Mate said, this thing starts from the home. How do you respond to your family? Everybody here will go out of the way to take care of the children and make sure that the children have food to eat. Why? Because they love the children. So if we love our country, we will respond to our country in a positive way. But I always like to say that Liberia is like the ugly woman that everybody promising to love, but when you look at her in the room, you don't you say no.
Yeah, that
but
the pastor coming to turn her upside down now, my people.
no, but here is the thing, right? The truth is the truth. We are suffering from poverty trauma syndrome, povertatious trauma, and impoverished traumatic syndrome. When people are poor for too long, the little opportunity you give them to have access to money, they will steal. Because the man have been suffering. The man have been, everything about him, he lost everything or he don't have anything. So the least opportunity you give him, the first thing he will want to do is to enrich himself, to come back to his former status or to get something for himself. And we see that consistently in all the government that have been coming to power, from Charles Taylor to Madam Sirleaf to President Weah, and now we see JMB. The first 6 months in power is just to enrich themselves, to build up their capacity to some level because of the suffering that they went through for so long. And do we really love Liberia? Do we really love Liberia? Like we talk about patriotism. Do we really love Liberia? If you love Liberia, just how you treat your children in the home, just how you can go out of your way to support the wife you have, to support the child you have, is how you will treat Liberia. But again, I always like to say this: we don't love Liberia. We're not patriotic to Liberia. When we get sick, we take our children and fly them abroad. So how much love do we have for our country? So it's just the ugly woman that get all the riches. The only thing we want from her is what she has. But do we really want to commit ourselves to be with her? Certainly not. We only pretend to want to be with her in the night when the room dark, but when the light come on, we don't want to be with her. Get what we can get and check up. So I think it's a cause of poverty when somebody, like for example, when somebody hungry for a long time, you put a bowl of rice in front of them, they would grab the whole thing. So the longevity for something absence create a huge vacuum for you to grab more. And sometimes even the more you're trying to grab could be excessive. But because you've been out of it for so long, you're eager to grab more. That is what happened into Liberia, in my opinion.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. So let me come to you on this, and I'll frame it a little bit different. Those of us that grew up in the countryside believe and trust that the name of the family, the name of your father, the name of your grandfather is so sacred to you that when you get in the city of Monrovia from the countryside, you will do everything possible except to steal. You will not steal. You're not going to rob anybody. You will work hard for yourself because you want to make sure that your parent name are not dragged in the mud. But terrorists seem to suggest that because Liberians that have gone through the impoverished process for so long, that perhaps the culture of preserving the name of your family, perhaps they're no longer holding. As a result, those who are enriching themselves illegally do not care if their parents or the name of their family is rubbed through the mud. Mr. So, I find that a little bit difficult to believe, but that's his opinion. What do you think on that, sir?
This is unbelievable. So, look, I am not going to be the one to reconstruct a crime scene. And this is what you guys do here. Every night, every event, you will continue to expose yourself, then with the help of this political pastor who tried to reframe what all is going on here. It is absurd, and we need to stop that. Then I'm a grandpa. What we are talking about is a yellow machine. Let's talk about the administrations. Let them tell us, let them come clean. This is what you are trying to avoid on purpose, and you think I'm going to go in that rabbit hole with you. Tell us, your Joseph Boyka, the administration, they are the one that I'm a grandfather, they are the one being corrupt and dishonest to the country. And we need to tell them in a very respectful, but with bold face so that they will do better. But you are trying, what you are doing now is to push this aside. And you think I'm going to be the one to flow. Well, Moses is here, your allies, they are here. They will never want to talk about you're bringing Helen Johnson, Sally, this and that. No, we are in the present now. We were told that there was some sort of bad governance. People abuse power. People are going to be held accountable. People are going to be audited. Where are all of these things? Instead, the three people, those who profess to have been the victor, they are more or less tried to they have victimized us. And you want to come here to come? You think I want to go down? I'm not going to go there with you, liberal. Look, you need to be a man and face it.
Thank
You
you.
guys are out of no. Terry spoke for almost 10 minutes here. You never
Terry is
stop.
a rescue too. You are not.
Okay, yeah. Okay, let me carry. Let me carry on. I think this is. And
minutes.
Moses will never say anything yet. When you come, when we on our program, you guys have to. You always speak endlessly, but when we're ready to talk and you becomes uncomfortable, they want to put us to a halt, and that's exactly what you are doing. But what I can tell you is disappointing. And you know that you have had that conversation with me. You have spoken about it off camera. I don't know why you don't be that brave to come out to say it as if somebody is.
Thank you,
I
thank you,
just don't
Mr.
understand.
So. I didn't know you were going to bring out a liquor talk as being one of your conversation on a very serious note. Those are liquor talk. You don't bring liquor talk on the show. Let me go. Let me go to Moses. Moses, on a very serious note, Mr. So, this conversation that I tried to construct here tonight, and I say construct because it can be deconstructed as well. So,
We will deconstruct it.
oh, I don't care. You do. You have the right to do that. But Mr. So is now trying to inject some sense of responsibility. However, he's not just allowing the responsibility to an individual. He is now making that responsibility to be the process of a community. And I think if we do that, we will fail.
No.
Mr. So, may I, the liberal is on the floor, please. The liberal in the board chair, by the way. Let me talk. Thank you. That's the only way he can't say anything again. The board chair, no, he can't say you're not hearing talking you. But no, on a very serious note, okay? So the point, Mose, and let me come to you here. We started with character. And I know that I read about the yellow machine, how somehow went from 79 to 22, $57 million difference. What happened if that had gone 72? I mean, 79. What happened to the 57? Those, for me, that's a corrupt behavior. But I'm asking, because this is not just this yellow machine issue. This thing happened in Madam Salih government. The corruption happened in President George Weah government, and it's continuing. So the concern that I have is, what did we go wrong? Is it because we have a character flaw within us as Liberians? Or as Terry is suggesting, that because we're so poor for so long that when we're given the opportunity, we want to enrich ourselves to get out of the poor, whatever you want to call it, poor slum or whatever you want to call it. If that is the case, is this the right way to go about it? Moses, let's hear from you, sir.
Well, let me just say first, on a serious note, to the CEO that this conversation and any other conversation that I personally participate in does not reverse to us and your. It's not an issue of your and us. I think we want to stay on to the topic. Initially, when I spoke generally based on my experience and what I understand it to be. Now, there's something that's called character. Character deals with your beliefs and your values. And I think what the liberal were trying to exert in this conversation is that people like himself and some of us who grew up in the interior, their values and the beliefs that we grew up with, in the indigenous side of life, have more to impact our character than that of the city life. Because the city life, everybody hustles. And so when you talk about personality, you talk about behavior. So how do we relate characters and behavior? And when we talk about corruption, there's so many words that come to mind. When you talk about dishonesty, misrepresentation, deception, misconduct, lawbreakers, all of these things are involved in corruption. And there's a saying that goes, what you're taught is what you learn. What you learn is what you practice. What you practice is what you become. So it's not about poverty, to say, to reflect a little bit on the Reverend, on Terry's opinion. What I think is that people in those communities growing up have learned these behavior impunity. Listen, they're done with no sense of accountability and what's monkey see, monkey do. And so that's where we find ourselves. And there's no one that has been able to challenge it. That's why I made reference to the fact that I thought the assets recovery were going to be an approach to addressing some of the issues of corruption, to see where people got those monies from to gain the kind of assets that they have. I mean, it's been going on for centuries. So we cannot just say it's not happening. But I think over the last few weeks, there's been quite a bit of discussions in Liberia, particularly about the corrupt practices of almost everybody in authority. And it has to start from the higher up. It has to start from the higher up if all this is going to be corrected.
Thank you. Dr. Mali, I'm going to come to you again. And thanks for your patience as usual. Again, folks, if you're listening, Samson told Labra Public Radio live here tonight. I have with me Dr. Miles Jones is here. Moses Sigway is also here. These are all LPR contributor, by the way, analyst. And Terry, the Rescue 2, is also here. And then our CEO himself, Mr. So, is here with us here, which way, to be honest with you, the two gentlemen you see across the checkerboard here are people that we allow to visit us tonight, and we will let them speak freely. But on a very serious note, Dr. Malley, let me come to you. And we've been at this thing here for a very long time, Dr. Malley. You are one of those who prescribed punishment. And your punishment as a liberal, it seems so ridiculous to me. Sometimes I will push back on it. But the people are not seeing the light. So is it time now to bring back, as you will say, Bella Yala? Dr. Malley, talk to me on how do we have this issue resolved, if at all, if it is not character. Do you think it's about time the future government future government, because when you say poverty, yes, I agree, but there were other countries that used to be poor. And because of the governing system that they put in place, look at Taiwan, they used to be poor. But in years, the governing system they put in place is not able to help them.
Singapore.
Yes, Singapore, exactly. So, Dr. Malley, are we just unable to be truly educated in terms of how we govern ourselves? Or is just because we're Liberian, we can do anything we want, no punishment, nothing, we'll get away with whatever it is. Talk to me on that. Do we now push the line of punishment in terms of how to deal with the corrupt behavior? Let's hear from you, Doc.
Well, first of all, I think we need to retrogress a bit.
Let's go ahead.
I want to believe strongly that corruption has got its roots in Liberia since 1847. The foundation of corruption began since 1847. But again, I also want to believe that many Liberian politicians since 1847 had criminal intent long before they came to government service, which helped to influence their character to engage in corruption. And to add to that, let's just put into perspective when Doe took over for the sake of intellectual discussion. Doe had a very good intention. Doe succeeded to remove a dynasty, but he also succeeded to maintain the system and the structure. There where Doe went wrong. And so if we try to demarcate from 1847 to 1980, and from 1980 up to now, the type of corruption that is going on now, I think it's the killing type. I call it the killing machine. All right? So what I'm saying here is that politicians of today felt that those guys of yesterday, their definition for running a government was to grab and go. But these guys of today have said, we will grab and eat. And even His Excellency came in to say, okay, if you grab now, help the people behind you. You see? So the question now is, the only thing that can curb corruption, because as I said, you found problem with Damon's statement that it had become a way of life, because no one had ever been thrown in jail in Liberia besides the former president's son, who went there for a few hours and she said the witch hunt her son, they got him out. All right? So if we really want to deal with corruption, labor between you and myself tonight and the rest of the panelists, we need to deconstruct Liberia and get all the old politicians off, bar them for so many years, get new generation to come, change the whole structure in Liberia. Even the word Liberia is morally corrupt. It has to be changed. Even the flag, reconstruct the whole system.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Terry, let me come to you. Dr. Malley has gone into my playbook of progressive ideas and tried to throw it out here tonight, but we're going to go farther than that. Terry, I know you're very young, but most likely you have heard and read that 13 Liberians were put on a post, mainly for corrupt behavior and corruption, were killed. But Dr. Malley seemed to be suggesting that corruption now is something that have taken root in our community. That they're taking things from the cover of a country that's supposed to go to people, hospital, places way up in the forest to make sure children have school, benches in classes for them to sit on. But because of corrupt behavior, they are now shutting these brothers and sisters that are supposed to have these things. But we went ahead back in 1980, executed our brothers for corrupt behavior, Liberians. Terry, is it time that people perhaps open the history of what corrupt behavior and corruption would do to our country? Is it time that we'll continue to discuss? Or in fact, This is just waste of time. We need to move on and live with it. Those who can steal, let them steal. Those who want to come in to be good, let them do good. Where do you stand on this? Yeah, and that will be the closing on that one. And we'll move on to the next subject matter. Go ahead. But before you do that, Terry, I want to recognize a few personalities here that are watching us here. My own friend, Alfonso Butler, my president, Madam Edith Paul, is also watching. Sissy Goya is watching. Very interesting. We want to thank all of you guys that are watching here tonight. Thank you very much. So, Terry, let's hear from you. Let's hear from you. Let's hear from you. Where do you stand on this?
Yeah, again, I go back to how can we solve it? That's the main thing, right? And should we allow it to continue? Obviously, it's going to continue based upon the kind of leadership we have. Only robust leaders can change the trajectory of the state. Like you've been talking about character wise and all of that. Like I stated earlier on, impoverished trauma is a significant issue and it cannot be addressed just by talking about it. It has to be addressed by eradicating some of the impediments in the society, like addressing health care issues, addressing or how you call it thing, educational problem, educational deficits, addressing safe drinking water, stable electricity, children having food to eat. Like I was talking the last time that I think 29% of our kids, all right, they don't eat on time. So based upon that, they are not growing they are not growing as fast as they're supposed to grow according to the medical standard for kids. So I want to believe that is one of the reasons why a lot of Liberians are short. I could be wrong.
Terry, I didn't want to do this, but I will do it. You talk, you're like your devil. How many times when you were growing up? Where you coming from with this sentence of
but maybe I
nowhere?
bypass something. But this is what it is, Liberal. Poverty creates violence. So if these things are not properly addressed, our young children, our youth will never change from the mindset they have. And once you give them power or you give them authority, they will do things that you don't expect them to do because they are already traumatized from the society they grew up in. They never have food to eat. They on time. They didn't go to good school. In fact, what I was reading, poverty can affect the child from learning, from being able to learn adequately to the level that this could be one of the reasons why our society, our kids are not up there because they take for example, you can't you gotta go sell on the street cold water before you come from there. Then they tell you lay down on the floor. So in the morning they gotta wake up you to go to school. How can that child learn? Then when that child grow up to maturity, you expect them to be to live according to the right standard that will cause them not to steal government money. What is the criteria that will put into place that help them during the upbringing? What the criteria that help them in the upbringing for them to be disciplined, to that when you put them over the national treasure, they will not see. Because if people who don't practice those kind of a behavior are people who grew up in a home where discipline was initiated, where culture was instilled, tutoring was given to them. So they were developed from a very embryo stage until they became mature. So it was installed and engraft into their mind. How many of our people have that kind of mindset? So you expect them to automatically, a man who was running down Sony Wen will all try to say under the ring, all right, trying to look for food, who used to go under the market table. You expect that man to automatically be a disciplined person and correct in society. How are you going to do it when he didn't grow up that way?
Thank you, Mr. So. Wrap it out on this here for us, and then we'll move on to the next subject matter. What would be your final thought on this particular subject matter? That is, if you care to contribute at us at all, but knowing you, you're probably going to try to. But anyway, I'm not going to guide you in this process. Give us your thought on this, Mr. So, if at all you have one.
Well, I don't know what is the fear coming from. Of course, I have. That is what I'm here. So you need to stop your speculation. But look, on a serious note, there are a lot of things factoring in, and part of that is we have been very unable. We as a Liberian, to hold these leaders accountable. They do not come with specific vision. They have no plan. They speak out these things, and people get in ties without asking follow questions as to how they're going to be achieved, how we're going to get there. People come and just come with these sort of names, and they don't allow us to decode it. For example, to rescue. Rescue is in so many forms, in so many contexts. But we really had a chance to have this sort of a conversation. George Weah came, Bob wrote medicine. Okay.
Yeah.
And we had a chance to have this sort of conversation. Samuel Doe came with the Green Revolution over and over. Well, one of these politicians, they continue to be very strategic in a bid to solidify, to get political power. And they are being driven by their surrogates, their supporters, their talking heads, like in the case of you, the Terry, and many others. But I think lack of patriotism and our politicians are willingness to even take a risk. How many of our politicians ever stood against their own institution, against their own party? Now they took us back into the 50s, where this whole political or political leader, political days, giving them that sort of absolute power. These people really go to convention where Moses is given the opportunity, Dr. Malley, the liberal progressive Terry, given the opportunity to even challenge these people. It's not happening. And I agree with him on that part. Poverty is another thing. It compromises people's dignity. It makes you to succumb because it devalues. So these people that have the capital, that have the resources, they pose themselves, they claim over these things, they become the absolute leader because they are the financials. Out of them, nothing. So by the time you go along, they get overnight conventions, it's organized, and they elect whoever they want to elect. So many voices are left out, and they are not even given chance to people within the same institutions that they will showcase, that they will unveil themselves. You and I know here in this country, the Democrat, the Republican, every other convention you will hear say the rising star, the rising star. It is because they accord these people the ability to form part of the national discourse. Who did Samuel Doe when he was leaving NDP? Or who did Samuel Doe ever put forward to be the next person? Charles Taylor, Helen Johnson Sirleaf. I have no idea whether George Weah ever did that before even coming to President Joseph Boyka, because it is all about themselves. And even if there was a shining star within that institution, those so-called sycophants, so-called loyalists, they will go to the president. This guy wants to overthrow you. This guy is looking for your job. And guess what? You will be cut off. And so that's the problem that we have. That's the challenge. So when they come with these sort of big names, who will prosecute, who will do this? How many of them? How many times have we not heard this and we'll be giving ourselves headache all of the time? And I agree with Maddie. People need to go to jail for their lifetime or shun their property. Here, when you owe this government here, when they get one cent for you, they send it back to you. When you owe them to, they pay. When you not pay in time, interest will be added. But the people take government to be the most least thing, and they just want to come to government to enrich themselves. And this is the challenge that we have, and this is what we need to talk about them. And people should start protecting their own alligators.
Thank you, folks. Again, Samson to Labra Public Radio. We're here again this evening. I have Moses Segwe with me. Dr. Jones is here. Mr. So, the CEO, is here, and Terry Collins, Rescue 2, is here with me as well. And we're just discussing. Now we're going to go on to the main subject matter now, which have to do with the yellow machine. We will discuss the yellow machine and see what happened. No, we haven't touched yellow machine. Now we're going to discuss your subject matter. But before we do that, let me.
Libra, can you please give me 30 seconds?
No.
That's the independent. You get
okay. Now the men are spoiling. No. No. They know before that was total no. But they want that Lofa County no now. No.
Liberal, please get the man
Oh,
a minute.
you from Lofa now?
Yeah, well, but I come from Lofa now, and I'm from Total.
Oh, yeah. Say, that man. I love a man from Grand Gita. Say, me.
Let's hear from you.
They don't want you in the account. Please come back home.
Liberal,
Let's from you, Doc.
Yeah, I think the irony here is this. It is dangerous when poor politicians come to power.
Yes.
And secondly, I don't know how possible it is for His Excellency President Boakai to claim that he's not corrupt when he's hailing a corrupt junta. I don't know how possible is that.
Thank you. I tell you, thank you. You see, like, that when you myself, Babu can we've been saying good thing here all night. You're not coming to. Yeah, but anyway, folks. Yeah.
I think this topic is very important. I mean, Yellow Machine this topic kind of supports what's going on with the Yellow Machine. So I don't think we've exhausted our conversation on the issue.
Yeah, Moses. The liberal is running a liberal show.
Can I just say something? Just 1 minute.
We'll come to you. You see, this is what we do here. When I come to you, you want to continue on whatever line you want to continue. It's up to you.
Understood.
But, that's how we do it. I mean, this is a liberal show. It's not the conservative where they hold you. You come and you're free to lose. But anyway, folks, before we come to the next side, let me play this video once again, and then we will go on with the Yellow Machine. Those who want to continue with the character, and then hopefully, Moses, when you do that, you would do two things for me, because the reason why I want to go to the Yellow Machine is to use your expertise as a security analyst here to tie around national security. But if you're going to stick with the character and you bring it in, I want you to also tie around the national security. So just hold your peace, and we'll be right back. For Samson told having a wonderful, wonderful evening. The two guys are in the rule of law here tonight, and they're respecting the board chair power, which I am the board chair. Thank you very much.
You know that you have heard from Supreme Court, eh?
I know.
Why are you going to throw that one? Wait till tomorrow, Terry. Wait till tomorrow. But anyway, folks, let's listen to this video, and we'll be right back. Samson told.
Help welcome our honored, distinguished guest, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King.
Thank you very kindly. Because I have other engagements, I don't have a tradition of being brief all the time. You know, I'm a Baptist preacher, and we can talk a long time. But I'm going to really be brief today. I want to ask you a question, and that is, what is in your life's blueprint? This is the most important and crucial period of your lives, for what you do now and what you decide now at this age may well determine which way your life shall go. And whenever a building is constructed, you usually have an architect who draws a blueprint. And that blueprint serves as the pattern, as the guide, as the model for those who are to build the building. And a building is not well erected without a good, sound, and solid blueprint. Now, each of you is in the process of building the structure of your lives. And the question is whether you have a proper, a solid, and a sound blueprint. Well, life for none of us has been a crystal stair, but we must keep moving. We must keep going. If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl, but by all means, keep moving.
That is the voice of Dr. Martin Luther King, who is telling us tonight that indeed every one of us, we do have a character which I now consider to be the blueprint of your life. But let's come to you, Mose. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your patience. We appreciate it. Let's come to you, Mose. On the yellow machine, I read earlier that the government is in negotiation with EcoBank for the reduced price of the 285 yellow machine that was brought to prominence by few Liberians who are in the inner circle of the president of the Republic of Liberia. At first, they told us the yellow machine was going to cost Liberians $79 million. And now they are negotiating with a reduced price of $22 million, the difference of $57 million. And that kinds of negotiation tactics, I think that would beat Donald Trump out of the deal. I think if you have people who will come from $79 million to $22 million, then they need to run the country because they will save Liberia a huge amount. However, I am not naive, and we're not stupid around here. People want to steal from us. I think the people catch them. Who they want coming so late? Oh, okay. Here we go. Let me bring in another good gentleman. Thank you, James. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Mose, let me come to you. Jim, you got to mute. Somehow there's a echo or somewhere. You're listening to another machine somewhere. So can you mute yourself? Okay. Are you there? Okay. All right. So when you're ready to talk, okay. All right. Did I mute myself? No. Okay. All right. So Mose, let me come to you now. And as I stated earlier, you can say how you want to frame this conversation. We have about 10 more minutes to go, and we're going to open the line for folks to make up their own contribution here tonight. So let me come to you, Mose. I've already gone through the process. Yeah. What do you make of this reduction in price? Are they so kind to the Liberian people, or perhaps they got cut with their pants down?
Well, what I can say is that just piggybacking off of what the CEO and Clarence and everybody else have said, and you showing that video was just in time to boost this conversation. And the CEO mentioned that we have nobody with serious stakeholders in that country to say we're gonna support this person or we have this person to offer. Number one, let me just say this. One of the things that is hurting us, from my own estimation, is that the vetting process for our officials in Liberia does not exist. If you check some of the big officials, these guys have engaged in criminal behavior and never been held accountable. And just so that we can talk about it, how do you have an election in a country of somebody who's supposed to be the blueprint and say that during the election process, there's no debate? The community or the citizens cannot vet who they're going to put in an elected positions. And using Terry's analysis, whereas poverty breeds corruption, which is true. Many of these people who are elected goes into the community and give bags of rice and money for people to vote for them. That's all part of corruption. So for me, these people who coming back up now to talk about the reduction in the price of the yellow machine are using another avenue to again squander money from the Liberian people. And that's what it says. If something sounds too good to be true, it's not true. And you know that philosophy. And a lot of people understand that. So for you to have a $57 million difference from the original price of the yellow machine is totally outrageous differences. And that means that there's something going on. And for me, I cannot buy that. And when it comes to the security issue, these are things that breed threats. Today, we see bikers protesting on the street, everyone protesting on the street. I think the Liberian people are resolved to not having another war. Because with all of these things happening in the communities and in that nation, that's breeding for some kind of unrest in the country. And I hope that they don't result to unrest in that country, because it's going to take lives that don't deserve it. But we cannot and should not continue to accommodate the level of corruption in our country as we see every day now.
Thank you. James, thank you for joining us. You know you're late. But what I know, perhaps if you haven't been listening, let's hear from you. Whatever it is that you have to talk about, let's hear from you.
Okay, so I want to weigh in on the and two things for that matter. First, corruption. Then, and the second one will be the issue of the 285 moving equipment.
Thank you, but make it brief for us, please. Go ahead.
Okay, so corruption remains that critical linchpin that undermines the growth and development of any society. And as many of the panelists, put it really squarely, like Terence and others, definitely, we need to be sincere. We need to fight this thing, and to fight it, and we need people of honesty. We need to follow the rules, observing, doing the right things. I think that's how we're going to tackle this, aging problem of corruption that continue to put the country at the hindmost. Yes, we're talking about a country of 177, 178 years old. We need to do more. We need to do better. Yes, but what I know is that other countries came to Liberia to get best practices, to learn from Liberia, Sierra Leone, Ghana, Guinea, and the rest of it. What did we do along the way, that circumvented that? We need to revisit that. Secondly, the issue of yellow machines. And when you check Facebook nowadays, it's flooded with news stories of yellow machines. When the news of yellow machines first broke out, let's put it to about 3, 4, 5 months ago, or even last year, and we have a huge public outcry, too much cry, about, the yellow machines. And trust me, a lot of the concerns people raised, those concerns were somehow genuine. People raised concern about PCC's laws, going through the right thing, doing the right thing to, ensure that we have the acquisition of the machine. But then President Bwaka just exercised one of the greatest attributes, of course, of a leader: listening. That I mean, leader who listens and turn to eyes. So what he did is that he listened to the public outcry, because don't forget the court of public opinion is out there. He listened to the many cries of the Liberian people, so he decided to revisit it. Today we have something new on the
James, let me hold you. Let me hold
on
you right
the
there.
VP Bwakai. But
James,
what can we? Yeah,
can you hear me?
yeah. Let
Can
me
you hear
just
me? Let me.
conclude.
No. Before
Yeah,
you
let me
conclude.
just conclude. Let me just conclude.
No. Before you conclude, let me hold you right there. You want to tell me that President Wakai was listening to the public cry? For that reason, the price went from 79 million to 22 million? Because the
Yeah, I
public
mean that
cry?
was too much. Yeah, I mean, and those are things you are much more concerned about. And I will be quick to interject that I mean those who inflated, ballooned the price of the yellow machines to around 80 to $79 million. And I want to think definitely that the president should not let them off the hook, and he should take actions against them. Yes, he should take actions against them, and not just letting them to go
Thank,
scot free. And so that it become business as usual. No,
thank you.
the Liberia we want to build, like I usually say, let me end with this one. The
Yes.
Liberia we want to build, we need to be very clear with people we call our friends. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Sese Goya, if this is in town now, I will say Talo. Talo, that means somebody you have not seen for so many years.
Today is here. Today for Colombo District is here.
Okay, today from Kunabo District, Talo. Now, somebody that you have not seen for so many years, you don't say hello, you say Talo. But anyhow, thank you for joining
I
us.
think James Akwe is echoing.
Yeah, James, can you? Okay, James.
Yeah.
Sese, go ahead. Give us
Let
something.
me apologize. I was playing in the back, but let me apologize. I've been gone for a long time, a very long time. You're elected a guy who, is mesmerized by groceries, and he hair look like chimpanzee, have look like human being. He's in the White House. He put in tariffs even on Goa. And now LeBron Goa can't come for free now to the US. They got 15% tariff on Goa and Potter. The mayor decided to cut money from the education department. It's been affecting my livelihood, so I've been kind of fighting to look for a place to eat before I come on here. Having said that, God is always good. Our ancestors always stand for us. But I had a free time today. I wanted to come out to say to my brethren, I missed you all, especially Dr. Mali, the fussy said, I can see all your posts you can send me. I can just ignore it because you fussy. Having said that, I'm joining you all today from the movement of Money Fini Aclay. When former politicians get broke, they get Money Fini Aclay. You know, yeah, you out to the crime today for Money Fini Aclay. You know, say, draw we up to first blood, Money Fini Aclay. When Money Fini, bro, I'm get clear. So that movement, I'm joining all your front today.
I say, I beg you. They last story you just brought, we don't want for the platform to be shut down. I beg you, man.
Okay. Thank you, Sisi.
You know my problem, Dr. Mallet? I want to also they can send me who because they have money owing the bank and here they will suffer when they send me who. So
but you know why I said this? Even the South African ambassador, he was in one hotel eating, he went gas say, oh, the country say they let it and they let it again. And they whisper in the puppet ear, the puppet say, please go home.
On the South African president, he's why I can tell people Wells Fargo will protest if you want to deport me. You know when Wells Fargo was student home?
All right, guys, we'll open the line. Give us a call here, Samson to La Pub Radio. And Jean just join us now.
Yeah, welcome back.
Give us a call. Sissy, we hope everything is okay with you as well, you and the family. But I always see the little girl, and when I see her picture there, I know everything's fine. God is there. Thank you for joining us. Folks, give us a call here, 916-533-2048. Let's hear from you, and let's see what's on your mind. So let me go back. I just want all of you here to be mindful when the caller comes in, whatever position you're in, whatever flight you're in, we would take the gas off your airline, and you will come down quick. So I just want to don't tell me say I'm in flight. No, when color call will come to you, Dr. Miles.
Just say you put a light up. That all. They play with that land.
Why are you gonna? I walked right into that one. Just forget it, Dr. Miles. Wow. Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh.
I walked right into that one.
But actually, on a serious note, you see, the whole thing is intertwined with the corruption thing we're talking about. Corruption has got something, I don't know, that grandson or grandchild, good governance. You see, the whole yellow machine business, two things inside. Bad governance is inside, and corruption sign is inside. The government has got a very good intention. Let me admit, that's a good intention. I don't know whether we really need 285 yellow machine. I don't know who is advising the government.
Doc, just hold on your thought, please.
Okay.
Let me go to this guy. Just hold on your thought, please. The call coming in now, crazy guys. So just hold on, please. Just bear with me. Okay. Caller 214 number. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Mr. Tom, how you doing?
Thank you, Clarence. Go ahead.
How you managing tonight? You know, God and I hold you like there's no way for you to turn. But the money they see, not turn you down completely.
Don't start trouble your Clarence. The way they man here,
you know, when something is not right, it's hard to defend it, Mr. Tom.
Okay.
We don't follow well that the issue on the yellow machine. I really thank God we are getting the but in the beginning of the yellow machine or negotiation, we're not correct. Because if they say government that send people out there to negotiate for the yellow machine, we I think $89 million, and they are coming down again to $22 million. What is happening between them? We're standing the truth. So if we really want to, the Honorable Barker got to look here, Crosshair there. Those Skellington are there, they are not right. Try to take those Skellington from there and keep the government running. Because these people are distracting the whole rescue agenda. Mamaka ability. The machine was not on there. She made a point that all these countries within 19. So when they're playing, because many of them want to get show up. I think they had any agenda. They don't want to loot the country, but they are not coming in getting according to the rescue plan to work with the rescue plan. So it's sad. There's no way that we can defend all the government, lead the government there. We say it is not for the amount of 22 million. So what is going on in between there? What is wrong? Thank you for the show.
Thank you, Clarence, and we're discussing it. Wireless caller, you're next in line, 202. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, hello, this is Brigadier Powell.
Oh boy.
Look, one of the things that really had me was like 202.
Brigadier, hold on. Another person calling. Hold on. Let me worry that. Don't stop before my Chinese phone start acting up tonight. Go ahead, caller.
Look,
go ahead, Brigadier.
Look, one of the things that had me is when people could think they know the truth and they pretend it. You knew the president was not qualified, was also corrupt. You knew he was president. That Papi been working government for 45 years. Apart from that, the most corrupt government ever, he was the president. With all the resources cleaning our country, I could have developed up to now. 12 years as a bad president. See, the man sent people out.
Hold on. Somebody else, another person calling. Hold on 1 minute. You plenty talking. You're talking here tonight. Go ahead, Brigadier. Hurry up because other people on the line.
Not about prosecuting somebody or investigating. The man never investigated. And he probably and said the machine was a gift. So tell me, who are you going to prosecute? The man said the young machine was a gift. So now it becomes to 2 million. Who are you going to investigate? The owner bank, the civil law that supported him.
Thank you.
See, man, got power. Have you saw him sleeping? Have you saw him sleeping? Yeah, now you because I want it. See him going power.
Oh, before that, he used to sleep.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Remember, now you're asleep. You're just close the eye to pretend like you're innocent. This is innocent thing. You fool me, y'all. And y'all know. Look, the government fail y'all because you're pretending that is it my man? Y'all coming on the show. The only thing you do is you're the platform and you know it's serious. Thank you for the show.
Okay, thank you. Let me merge the other color in and yeah, you don't call, but they're coming for you. What are you?
First day back, the man they picking for me.
Caller, Peterson, you're next. Go ahead. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Yeah, my name is Boyman Kone, and I want to say thank you, Mr. Dove, and thank the panelists. I just want to touch on the corruption issue.
Please.
And I will also touch on the yellow machine. I think one of our biggest problems is not those that ascend to power. It's just as we, as a people, as individuals, we are not honest to ourselves. And secondly, I believe we are not patriotic to our country. Because if you are honest,
but Colin, let me hold you right then. When you say we are not honest to ourselves, can you give us a little example, please, and then you can go on.
Okay. If you are honest to yourself, you will be someone of integrity, and anyone of integrity will want to maintain that integrity, and they will want to always exercise integrity, whether people are watching or not. And the second aspect of it is our lack of nationalism and patriotism to our country. And until we can reach that particular goal, Liberia will continue to go in circle and will continue to recycle old politicians because they are the ones who have the money. And if Liberians have integrity, we will always be looking for people with integrity, no matter whether they have money or not. We always look at their integrity, their character, their contribution to society and to our country, and their nationalistic behavior and patriotic behavior. I think that is the main thing that will help Liberia move forward.
Thank you. But go ahead. I will ask you one last question, but go ahead.
And for the yellow machine,
yeah,
I think if the president is honest and he wants to move the country forward, all of those that were involved in the information that were disseminated that scaled the price to 80 million or 79 million, I think all of them should be far away from his office and they should be taken out of government because it was broad day robbery. They wanted to rob the Liberian people.
Inflate.
Because we are talking about almost $57 million difference. And even the machines, the earth moving machines, there are too many machines because I don't think right now Liberia has the money or the capacity to maintain those machines or to train people at this time. So my suggestion to the government is to reduce the number of earth moving machines and to be able to divert some of that money into healthcare and education.
Thank you. But before you go, though, I don't want to speculate, but it seemed to me, and speculation is my middle knee anyhow, and I'm also a ridiculous, one of the ridiculous panelists here. So it seemed to me that perhaps being a person who really loves Liberia, but just for talking, it seemed like you go through some little pain here and there about the way our country is moving forward as young as you are. So perhaps you feel that things are not happening that will give you some joy in terms of Liberia moving forward. Am I describing it correctly? And if it is so, what are some of the things perhaps you think you and your young crowd can do to achieve the good thing of the country or for the country?
I've already started. I've been to Liberia several times. Anyway, you know my dad. My dad is the late Vanny Kone. I have been involved with youth in Liberia, and I have mentorship there when I go there. And right now, I have already organized a soccer organization and looking mostly towards the less fortunate community, like those poverty-driven community like Claratown, because that's where I originally from, West Point, Newtown, and Looking Town. So what we are doing, we are engaged with those young uh, females from the age of 9 to 14 years old, getting them involved in soccer and helping them along to be able to get them out of the street and be able to focus on extracurriculum activities, helping them with their school fees, giving them example of being good leaders in society, because there is no tribe in society without good females in our society, because the mothers spend more time with the kids than the fathers. So my concentration is on the female because they are the more vulnerable in our society. And whenever I go to Liberia, I try to exhibit what the kind of Liberia I want. I assist people in the street. I talk to young people and try to talk to them about integrity, about nationalism, about patriotism to our country. And I always do that every time I go to Liberia.
Thank you. I hope you will continue to join us here so that you will give us some feedback. And I think some of your conversation here from me, I mean, they're very impactful, and we're really appreciate it for joining us tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Another wireless. You're next in line. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Yeah, so
that would be Ambrose. That would be Ambrose.
Yeah, this Ambrose. Yeah, Mr. Too, I would love to give the president some credit. But first, they're going to disclose how much each of that 250 machine, how much each cost. Because if you're going to say the price dropped almost 57 million, whoever was selling it will be going out of business. Because there's no way somebody can give you a discount at that level. And there's no way you can negotiate to come to beat somebody down. Either you squeeze their hand for them to give you that much of discount, or somebody is not still telling the truth. Because I think they're going to distribute that cost of that machine every budget year. Something will be going towards the payment of that machine. But until they can disclose how much each of the machine cost and at what price they were buying it from, so we can know exactly. Yeah, if the president, the kind of dishonesty in our country is very heartbreaking. Certain group of people just sit down and just decide, say, oh, you know what, we're going to rape the country this way, and you have to put up with it, and nobody's going to get penalized.
Thank you. Thank you.
But everybody have said, until, for me, I really want to give me the credit, but let it disclose the cost of the machine. Because that's like moving, you see, capital or caterpillar or whatever it is, you can get it. There's no way anybody can get a discount of 50 million before 57 million. But thank you for the show, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're a mathematician. You're engineer. You can be. I know you're not an accountant or economist, but you can do the common math. They're good at this.
Yeah, but also when you push them too much, they will come back. They say the company said those machines they're depreciated so low that we're paying this much low money. So you can't push them out.
Mr. So, so that we're going to be honest and be truthful. You already done that. Your part. Let us disclose how much each of the machine. Because the machine costs
you will not stop now. You and myself will having a good conversation. You will not stop now until you come back. Then you and myself bamboo start divine.
Okay, I'll get off the last one.
Thank you. Yeah, because I know where you're going next. Let's hear from you, Julu. Julu, you're next. You're the last caller. In fact, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. This is Judah Kidd, from Virginia.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, the liberal. But liberal, the last time I told you I said I'm not mad with the politicians stealing the money. The people I'm mad with the Liberian people. Look, we can fight 14 years civil war, they will be scared. Look, the last time I listened to school last month, what really hurt my feeling was Fool was saying that the senator or the representative, the majority black and the minority black, They divide $2.5 million, $35,000 each. And the Liberian people are sitting there, they act like nothing is happening. Look, there's no light in the country. We need $23 million to pay our light bill. So we have to go get more light. The president is not even thinking about that. But in Liberian people can divide $2.5 million among themselves. The majority black and the minority black. No, but that thing hurt my feeling. I slept. Power hurt it. And the people in the country, they're sitting there, the people can be doing this thing. And the thing that hurt it more is the people doing it, they put out hiding. The people live among them. They live right among them. And the Liberian people yell at Islam. No normal country. People will be stealing like that. The people will just be sitting and let it be slide. So the important thing you're talking about, the only thing we can do, the president ain't going to take no action because the president is saying he ain't the cookie jar. He's not going to do nothing. And it just hurt my feeling because the Liberian people can just sit there and allow this thing to happen, to continue to happen, and it will continue to happen until the minute I'm about to take action, it will continue to happen. But thank you for tonight.
Thank you. Again, folks, Samson to Labrador Puerto Rico. That will be the last caller for the night. We do not preach violence. These are views of individuals. Whatever view they express is their own view. But here on LPR, we preach peace, and we do not preach violence. And I'm not suggesting that the gentleman is preaching violence. But at the same time, we have rule and law in the country. Liberia is not a banana republic. We have judiciary. They're there. And if you feel that somebody is corrupt or doing something, take them to court and prove your case. But anyhow, let's wrap it up, guys. Thank you guys very much. Sissy, James, Dr. Mali, Mose, Mr. So, CEO, and Rescue 2, Terry. Thank you guys very much for joining me tonight. I hope we will do the same thing tomorrow. Let's hear from you. Say you came last. If you care to wrap it up, give us your closing, please. Go ahead.
Wait a minute now. You see how the man is very unfair in his thing here?
Keep your protest for soup. In the jail where when soup people can go protest that the money, we don't even do my talking. You see people now recruit the bread and now they cutting all our lead now soup guard, the flying brigade cutting all our LEC wire there now. You got your protest building. Having said that, you know how to get you hot Dr. Mali. Look, man, on a serious note, I think one of the callers spoke about the lack of morality towards public goods, corruption in Liberia. And I think it's a big thing we have to tackle. But what I don't like people to think is that somehow poverty or illiteracy has a direct correlation to your ability or your appetite to steal from the common people, right? We gotta, and I'm gonna say it, you're scared, I've been there, man. But there's a guy currently occupying the White House that bankrupt a whole casino, right? Man, how you get a money printing machine, you go bankrupt, right? So corruption has very few connections to poverty or illiteracy. It's about what the preacher man would say, and I'm about to quote my brother Terry here as a preacher man, is what do you do when everybody else is now watching you? What makes up at the atomic level, what makes you who you are? I think that's the biggest thing we got to consider. We have allowed ourselves to drift away so far from what it means to be Liberian. You don't even know what it means to be Liberian anymore because it's so watered down. What is the moral status? If I ask you as a Liberian, define for me what are some values, some moral values that define Liberia that makes it different from Sierra Leone or Guinea. It's difficult to say that now because we've lost that. And I think until we can get back to that, we keep complaining about people becoming corrupt. You take me from here, who complaining every day, who goes to the white man job on time and leaves on time. I go to Liberia, I'll go to work 8 o'clock, leave for that 12 o'clock. All right. So what is keeping me here from doing that allows me to do that in Liberia? I think that's a bigger question we have to tackle. And last but not least, on this issue of the blue machines. Look, let me say this. We are so eager every time as Liberians to rush to judgment. There were machines brought in the country for $80 some million. We argue about it. I was not happy that the government provided security clearance. They were being saved at a secure location at our expense, and the government said they're going to negotiate it. For me, what I want to see is how that negotiation went on before I signed to individual negotiators that they were corrupt. There are so many things that can lead to a depreciation in equipment. Number one, are the people willing to put them back on ship and ship them back home? How much will it cost them to ship them back from where they came versus just selling them at an auction? Number two, there might just be like people were just trying to blindly rob the Liberian people. I'm not taking that away. But to run to an assumption that because there is a drop in price, that automatically means people are trying to steal, I don't find that connection. But I think when the government has not been forthcoming, that allows for people to make those judgments. I think this government has not been as forthcoming as it should be. Therefore, people who took their consciences and buried them under the sycamore tree that went by now and dug them back up, all of a sudden feel like they have something to say. But I think this government has given people the opportunity to speak about it. You have to be transparent. What led to the drop? Who is the merchant? Why isn't the merchant speaking? Because for us, that is where we want to look. But I don't want to hold anybody accountable and say they're stealing from government if I don't have the proof that they're stealing. Just because I see that there's a price in equipment doesn't necessarily mean that folks are trying to steal from the government.
Thank you. Thank you, Sissy. Let's hear from you, James.
On mute. Okay,
Yeah,
so okay, so I want to hammer down on the issue of the yellow machines. So all of the colors, whether on Facebook, video, and the rest of it, I see a central theme Liberians are running with, and it has to do with, Liberians are upbeat about news about the yellow machines. Liberians are happy. I see a rhapsody of joy. People are happy for it. But then, people also want the right things to happen. The PPCC laws do the right thing so that the machine comes and begin to open up the roads. And so that, we're talking about farm to market roads. Produce can be produced local, those produce that are produced locally. You're going to see that the price definitely there will be, a trickle down in the price, because you see more farmers now will be moving their produce to the market, and it's going to cause a shift in the price also. And that's exactly what Liberians want. When Liberians went to the polls to make a decision as to who becomes the next president of the country, they did so looking at a number of factors. And of course, one of them was better roads. That's it. And let me also look at the issue of the trading issue, what concerning Joe Howard Taylor. Yeah. I was not around when it started.
That would be the subject. That would be the conversation tomorrow, James.
Okay, so let me just leave that. Okay, so let me just leave that and double down on corruption. We need to fight it. And I love how the former UN president
you got 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds, James. 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah, I love how former US President Joe Biden described corruption. Corruption is a cancer that eats up gradually, and we need to fight it. We need to kill it so that
Joe Biden borrowed that from President Buckeye. Joe Biden borrowed that statement from President Buckeye.
Okay.
Joe Biden borrowed that statement from President Buckeye. Terrence, let's hear from you, sir. James, you're going to have to mute yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Senior brother sister, you are welcome, man. Long time. Morning, Finney, Akle. But yeah, so thank you, Labor. I think we're having problem with leadership deficits. And my question to you guys would be, Do you think Charles Taylor, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, former President Weah, JMB had any tendency of corruption in them before ascending to power? Do you think that you on this network could have been any one of them as well? You
I
know,
can speak for Charles Taylor, but the rest of them I cannot.
you know, yes, Warren.
I say I can speak for Charles Taylor that he has corrupt tendencies before coming to power, but the rest of them I don't know for sure.
Right. So, what made them to have that? Like I
Every
listen to JMB.
every human being has corrupt tendencies. It's the ability to suppress it that makes you different from other people.
Takes a lot of discipline to do that.
Thank you.
Can we say on this network that if any one of us were in such position who had done it differently than what they did?
You must have the discipline.
I will fold 2 packets, 2 of them, and build LPR. They say y'all can't tell me the better yet.
A lot of discipline.
So my thing is, leaders are made and leaders are born. Leaders are people who carry a burning desire or vision with the aspiration to make a change and make a difference. And in order to do that, there must be leaders that are willing to make the sacrifice, even if it will cost their lives. One of the reasons why our leaders fail, like I said, it may not be wholesomely deriving from poverty in totality, but I'm looking at poverty first as one of the major factors for our impediment to make our society progress to a very high level. You understand, which is the initial beginning of our problem. Given the case study of Martin Luther King, you just brought here, this was a leader who was willing to make sacrifices, even if it would cost his life. Do we have leaders like that in our society? Especially in Liberia, do we have leaders like that among the young people brewing in the political landscape in Liberia? Do we have these kind of leaders? So if we don't, where are we heading? Maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 6 years from now. One of our major problems in Liberia, from our leadership perspective, I noticed, is that leaders bring friendship, relatives, tribal men. These are symptoms of impoverished trauma, right? Like I listened to JMB the last time when he was in Lofa, he said, he was giving a parable and he said something like, I call you to can't eat. Then you get problem with the other man, what? Already with me. So is our country a MIPA that we put on the dryer? So what I'm saying, in as much as I support him also, but I went back to listen to that statement. I thought it was off. Like I call you to can't eat. And then, Madam Sirleaf says something similar to that too. Likewise, most of our leaders. So you found out that, and now what we stuck with is
let me interrupt a little bit. CEO, we're going to go over here by maybe 5 minutes of the allotted time. I just want to make that clear. Go ahead.
Request denied.
Oh, okay. Then you and Mario will not speak. Derek, thank you very much. And show it over, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I got over 1 minute. The CEO said no. Good night to all of y'all. No, hold on.
Good night, everybody.
Go ahead, Terry, wrap it up.
Good night, y'all.
Yeah, so that's it, Libra. We have a problem, and we must highlight these things because it's very essential. If we are expecting to have a transformed society and a corruption-free society, we must also now look at what are some of our impediments right now. If you look at the government, you got a lot of people from Lofa County. You look at previous government, you had a lot of people from what a place, from his tribal place, the southeast. Why you bring your people that they don't know anything, they can't make anything, they're not able to do the work. You brought them to eat because of impoverished trauma. You see it? So these are things, and for going further, any leader you put there, they will reprobate, they will repeat the same thing, because we have a problem up here, and the reason for that is because we suffer too long. That's just my own. Thank you.
Thank you. Mostly, let's hear from you, and then we'll go to Dr. Mane and Mr. So will take us. Go ahead, guys, but try to make it brief because we're completely out of time.
No, I've said enough already on the show. I'm going to be very brief. And I'm just going to relate this whole thing to the history of corruption as it existed in Liberia for many, many years, for centuries. And for us to think that it's going to be eradicated overnight is the $10,000 story that nobody is willing to pay for. The other thing, especially so post-war, corruption was in Liberia before the war, and now that we have all of these happening, and the country is trying to recover from 14 years of civil conflict, which is not an easy thing. It's only breed more corruption because people stay at the education sector, no, most of the people there don't even know right from wrong, and we talk about behavior, morals, integrity, and all of that. How many of those people have it? So we're gonna have to start training. And for us in the diaspora, who sent well over $700 million to Liberia for this past election, we are part of the process, and we are part of the problem. And here we are supporting those guys, people in Liberia running for office, and we're not holding them accountable from the diaspora as well. So it's that we need to, from the diaspora, from everywhere, start to hold those people accountable that are elected into positions and stop electing criminals.
Thank
People
you.
Corrupt history needs to be put in jail and not rewarded by electing them to higher positions.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Mother, let's hear from you. Make it brief for us, and then Mr. So will take us. We're completely out of time here.
Yeah,
So go ahead, Doc.
thank you, Liberal. I just want to say here that there are some leaders that can make tremendous sacrifices, but yet exploit their people and bury them alive. We have seen that in Liberia. Moreover, back to the yellow machine. The rescue government intentions are very good, but I think the process is fraudulent. Why did I say that? Did the government put out a bid to negotiate the yellow machines? Was the process vectored by the PPCC? We are talking about good governance here. Okay? Did the government consider other sale vendors? Should the PPCC take over this whole purchase issue and the president get his hands off it? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Doc. Mr. So, please take us home.
Good night. We had a very great show. Man, Clarence David call, abandon you. Sister, make sure. Sister, you're not buried. Papa Zanzakawa. You went for the funeral or what?
No, I left that one. Right now, we're working on a reform. NEC also made a reform in the Bakati race. We're working on that one here.
Look, Liberal, what a good conversation. And look, great folks here. And the good thing about this network, despite sometimes of our strong voice,
you got to look into Prophet Key's story. He annoyed.
Emotion. Nobody takes anything personal. We discuss this critical issue, and
if you want, let me to catch you.
Guys, let Mr. So close, please.
Yes, that's what one day our fire.
My brother been with the toast kind of a topic.
The best could have been a bad way. He tried to be nice. But look, again, like I said, most Akwe, Mr. Boyer, Dr. Malik, Terry, where is this so-called progressive Dr.
James, you got to mute yourself, please.
I don't know why. Dr. Toto and Kato and all of the folks. I think Keto's still in Liberia. Look,
let you stay there.
Again, we want to say thank you so much for the sort of sacrifices. It takes 2 hours and like literally 7 days a week for us to sit here and talk. We come with Slim, the progressive, the so-called liberal progressive and his ally, but they are still consistent. That is good. We are thinking much bigger and bigger for for the survival of this network. And there are a lot of things being done behind the scene. We will unveil that. And like we said, all of us agree here, not that we don't want to ask for money, but we are waiting for the rightful time because we want to illustrate, we want to give a convincing argument to our viewers, to our listeners, to our followers that they will give. And I can tell you, we are already at that point. In the coming days, week, we're going to get a plan out there and see who buys into it. We'll be very persuasive, we'll be very gentle with them. Because we need to have network like this, where you're going to have descending views, and hopefully those that are in the habit of creating artificial phone line to stop other people, they will also, have a second thought that we will not have no longer Chinese phone, Korean phone, Japanese phone, and all of that, and that everybody speak their mind as long as they are civil, in that conversation. That's what we're supposed to do, because and not seeing Dr. Mali as enemy of the state.
Thank you,
He
Mr.
lied.
So. I think the time is way spent, and you come here, you talk about our father, the father of the nation, respectful manner, and the Chinese phone going to operate. But if you come here and want to be degrading to the father of the nation, not only will you be talking to Chinese phone, you'll be talking to North Korea phone.
So get up by him. Let me try calling him.
That North Korea phone you'll be talking to. So
hey Joyce, I send you a message. I don't know. Please look at your phone, Joyce.
All right, good night, guys. I want to thank all of you again tonight. Please join me tomorrow. Very shortly here, we will be doing some sort of a looking back. How did we get here?
Dr. Mali, are these guys running out of conversation? Because
don't worry about it. Don't worry. Tell your own.
No, I think so. But
look at the Reverend. Look at the Reverend.
This is why the course is there for reinforcement.
The man from Waterloo, he looks downhearted.
I knew you were coming in.
The man from Delaware, you see the guy come from Minnesota. Every day he changes.
Manfatu, thank you very much for staying with us. We appreciate you very much. All of the callers tonight, all of you that have continued to write, we want to thank you very much. Please tune in tomorrow again for the most wonderful show on any platform you can find. Liberal Public Radio, the Liberal is going to be in control. James, thank you very much. Dr. Mali, good night.
Yo.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. We'll say good night to all of you. And again, join us again tomorrow, where we will have some wonderful conversation. Again, folks, let me just say this here. When we come up here, we have conversation with many of you, and we say thank you very much for your support, because it's very important that we have this conversation with you, because we're here to do what we have to do to make sure that we talk about Liberia issue. And those of you that join us, and many of them are friends, I say thank you for joining. We appreciate it. And we'll say good night to all of you. Please join us again tomorrow as we come out to talk about Liberia and issue pertaining to Liberia and Liberia. I will say good night to all of you. Good night, folks.
Corona ni kwa azumu ben kwa tanzon diade ko kwa dompa ye dompa ko we ko yen son karo diade ka presuka kalu ko kwa tanzon de